Hi, I'm Julie Lane, and thank you for being here. This is my very first video about my story, and it's a pretty big step for me to share my story by and to put a voice and a face to that story. Many of you have been following me on Redeem Thyself or Seven Petals, and you've read my written word so many times and filled it with so many wonderful comments and feedback, and I'm so incredibly grateful. But today I want to give a voice to my story, something that's really hard to do. For years I kept silent, like I'm sure many of you have as well. But silent keeps us isolated. And I believe that sharing our stories creates healing, not just for me, but for those of you who are watching this video, and for those who are walking a similar path somewhere in the world. So why am I doing this now? I've been on Instagram for about a year, and the following has been, oh my goodness, such a blessing. But I never felt that I could really open up about my journey at all through trauma and abuse until after my parents passed away. I know they carried a great deal of shame and even disbelief that they had no clue what was going on under their roofs during my adolescent years. Eventually, they did learn about it, but by then I was in my 20s. Now I was married. I had a life of my own. And again, like so many of us, it looked like I had it all together and life was good. But inside, life wasn't good. I had experienced sibling abuse, such as bullying, shaming, and sexual assault while growing up. And I have to admit, I experienced a lack of emotional validation from my mom. I really want to emphasize that I don't believe that was intentional. My parents were very caring of us. They gave us every opportunity to thrive. They supported our dreams. But that invalidation of how I was feeling, plus the sibling abuse, in a nutshell, I grew up in a home that really wasn't safe, where my boundaries weren't accepted and they were trampled upon. And I grew up believing that that's how I'm supposed to be treated. So in adolescence, I sought out relationships where I'd be treated the same, and I did so in my adult life. I married men who disregarded my needs, who shamed me, blamed me, shunned me, neglected, bullied. They disrespected the word no. And it's taken me decades to call my life experience really what it is and to own it. And eventually, I did find the courage to not only seek out help, but the courage to do the work of facing my past, looking inward at myself, seeing what I needed to change, and to begin my healing journey. The big turning point for me, I think, was twofold. One being, I was just tired of holding secrets. I was tired of keeping the mask on my face and pretending to be the person who had it all together. But during my last marriage, to a man who uh, was disrespectful, blaming, shaming, gaslighting, there was a time when he was quite upset and told me I needed to find a new therapist who could actually help me. Now, after all, I was the one with all the problems. But it was then, under the guidance of this absolutely amazing therapist that I found, that the hard work started, that I began to change. I began to find my voice. I began to stand my ground. My life began to change and I began to live differently. It wasn't easy, and it certainly didn't happen overnight, but this was the place where real change began. This channel is a space for healing, honesty, growth. And I know I'm going to be sharing more of my story, maybe some of the tools that have helped me along the way, interviews, resources that I really wish I had earlier, things I wish I had known earlier. But I not only want to share with you, I'm really hoping that you can find this safe space as a place to share your own stories. If you're here because you're struggling, I know that you're not alone. And if you're here to support a loved one, I want to thank you for that. You can learn more about my work and my story by clicking on my website URL below. And if this video resonates with you, I'd love if you'd subscribe and share. I want to be able to build a community in this space, build it together, and a place where we can heal together and support one another. Thanks for listening, and please remember your story matters and that you matter. Be sure to drop a comment, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye for now.